Hey peeps, it's your girl Daxani and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we get into this redraw, I just want to let you guys know that I was recently interviewed by artist and YouTuber Asia the Bird talking about my art and my experiences within the art community, and hopefully maybe you'll get some type of inspiration from me or some interesting advice and all that jazz. So I'll go ahead and link the video down below in the description box for you guys to check it out. Go support her and her YouTube channel. There's a lot of other great interviews on that channel as well with other amazing artists. I had a wonderful time being interviewed. I've never really had this happen to me before. So when Asia first asked, I was like, oh wow, someone wants to really interview me about my art. And as they say, we are our worst critic. And I'm like, wow, my art is that great where you kind of want to interview me, the artist? Like, whoa. So Asia, if you're listening to this, thank you again for the 1000th time for, having me on your channel and interviewing me. It was a fun experience. I loved it so much. So I don't know. I'm just really excited about the video. So go check it out, you guys. In the beginning of the video, you saw that there was a time lapse of the sketch portion that I did leading up to this type of recording that I rarely do. On the left there, for the reference side, is the original drawing that I did in 2017, and now you guys are gonna watch me do the whole process of redrawing it. So yeah, I'll go ahead and put a clearer version of the 2017 version so you guys can kind of see it much better, because it's kind of looking a little bright. So booyah. I initially had another video planned, but then I decided to go ahead and do this redraw video for YouTube, only because I was just so proud of the redraw. I'm always proud of my redraws. I guess especially with this one, because I feel like it just flows really well. It doesn't look entirely stiff like the 2017 version. So I was in a hurry. I was just really excited to share this one with you guys. So whatever I had planned before, it might be for Wednesday depending on if I get to it. But if you guys don't see it up on Wednesday, then I'm going to keep it to regular schedule for Saturday. Drawing the hair was kind of easy, but then it was kind of just annoying at certain points. I felt like I started off really great, and I also feel like I kept the same techniques that on how I would draw and color the hair, as you see in the 2017 version. But of course, I think in some ways I have perfected it a little bit, but I noticed that drawing kind of straight textured, a textured hair for me has just, I don't know, I feel like it's gone downhill, and I feel like it needs to be worked on a little bit more. This is definitely better, and I thought I was gonna struggle here, but it's not that bad. It's not too shabby. I kind of like it, but I think I'm just trying to figure out what direction I want to go with when drawing this type of hair. But I think when I draw any type of textured hair, I do kind of question, do I want to really go into details and do individual strands? Do I want to make it look like it has individual strands, or do I kind of want to do bigger chunks? And sometimes I kind of switch it up. It just kind of depends on what the drawing looks like overall. But I will say I do like this one because I'm not really adding individual hair strands like I did in the 2017 version. It kind of keeps the same vibe, but it's not as overly detailed. Even back then, because Facebook showed me this 2017 version, right? And I read the caption of it, and I was really proud of this drawing in 2017 when Facebook shared that memory. I was like, oh, remember you posted this in 2017? I was like, wow, I really came a long way. But crazy thing, I didn't necessarily think it was ugly. I just saw the improvement. I can't even say that this one, well, the old one is necessarily bad. It's not terrible, but I can definitely just see the improvement. So when I was doing the pose, right, that was like the first thing that I just really wanted to work on. I went on Pinterest and I looked up some, what did I type in? I typed in like looking over the shoulder pose reference or something like that. And, you know, I went through it and I saw like some good over the shoulder, like, you know, a girl looking over her shoulder. And I was like, this, most likely I didn't look up any references back then. And that was the look I was going for. But in the 2017 version, it looks like she's about to break her neck. Like, she's been in that pose for so long. She looks stiff. She looks like, damn, if I turn my head back the right way, I'm going to be sore. My neck is going to be sore. So how this looks, what you guys are watching right now, this pose looks 10 times, 20 times better. As someone who is still not confident in drawing anatomy and feels like their anatomy is not great to this day, doing this redraw just gave me an eruption of confidence in anatomy. Like, sure, you know, this is what, up to the chest area, maybe a little bit lower, but the way this looks is just so amazing and I'm so proud of myself. I was like, damn, you know what, we did step up our game in the anatomy area versus the one that's in 2017. Like, just look at it.
No, look at it! Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! Look at it!
In the original drawing, she's holding what looks like a sapphire crystal, but I'm really trying to recall back then because I think I was trying to go for a clear quartz crystal, and I think like I was trying to give it like that bluish tint, trying to make it see-through, but it just ended up looking like a regular sapphire crystal. So I was like, you know what? I think I even stepped up my game with drawing crystals now. However, you may see it like, you know, it's blue, and I was like, oh, well, she's holding a blue sapphire, and it was going to stay a blue sapphire. But then I was like, no, I think it was supposed to be a clear quartz. So this next part is honestly the fun part for me. I've been really enjoying adding some detailed lighting to my artwork, and I feel like it gives it so much more personality, you know, and I like a lot of fantasy like things, so adding like glows and shadows, oh my gosh, this is like the soothing moment for me. And you know, the artwork looks good without all of that, so normally I'll make like two different versions, one with the lighting and the shadows and the over exaggerated glows, and then I just have like a plain one, so because like I do kind of like to showcase it without the full-blown mystical shadows and stuff like that. I don't know, it's pleasing to my eyes, like both of them are. And so like I would just add like a clipping mask, and then I would set like a dark blue to multiply for the shadows, and I would just erase the parts that I'm gonna add like some glows later, or where I don't want any shadows to be at. And then here on the side you have like my Pinterest reference, because I was like, well, where the crystal's located, it's kind of like, you know, it's more underneath like her nose and stuff, so I was like, what would that type of glow look like? And I don't think mine is as exaggerated as the one you see on Pinterest. I kind of was like, oh well, I don't like too much shadows, so I probably won't darken a lot of shadows like that. And it's a personal preference, so it's not as realistic, so I don't want to hear it in the comments from any know-it-alls like, oh, it's not supposed to be like that. Well, yeah, I know, but it's just personal at this point. Adding the glows were really fun. I don't know, I think for me, like adding more of a color glow, like a pink, blue, purple glow, like those usually work a little bit easier for me. However, being that this is, you know, it's a clear quartz crystal, and so I had to work with white, and sometimes like I would kind of use a bit of the overlay effect and then the add effect on Procreate for like for help with the glow, and sometimes like the add is just a little too much when I use white for some reason, and it's just a lot of kind of tweaking with messing with the opacity a little bit, and just kind of adding either multiple ads or less ads, or sometimes I end up changing my mind. I was like, well, no, I don't like the ad effect. It's just too much going on, so I'm just gonna get rid of it entirely. You know, it's just like that sometimes. And then as for like the crystal, I added, you know, some more glow onto the crystal because that's the source of the light, and I just added some sparkles here and there to make it even more mystical and all that jazz. But then you have these sparkles that are in the background. I ended up getting rid of those later because I was like, it's kind of looking a little cluttered. It's no longer pleasing, so I got rid of that. And then of course I added some of that chromatic abrasion effect that's on Procreate onto the crystal, and it looks so great. Like, it's such a great effect. I freaking love the chromatic abrasion. It just makes everything pop. Another thing that I did to kind of give more power to this crystal, right? It's not an ordinary crystal. There's something magical, mystical going on, and it's shining so bright. I felt like, well, it needs some of that rainbow flare, right? So I went on Safari, looked up some rainbow flare overlays that I can use. You know, I think I saved like 3 different ones and see which one worked best. I've kind of erased some of the effect, and I would set this on screen, and sometimes I think it's called the lighten effect that's on the layer for the rainbow flare, which I think worked better for this one. But honestly, I love the rainbow flare. Like, back when I used to edit my Instagram photos for my personal account, like, I was obsessed with using the rainbow flare with just about anything. And here I'm just kind of working with I guess like adding some of my own personal filters, just messing with the lighting and everything. And look, I struggled with a background. I wasn't really settling for a plain colored background for this. I felt like the drawing itself, there was a lot going on. There's a lot to tell about this character, and I was like, I can't just have a plain colored background. I have to do something. And I was going to resort to like a forest, but I was like, no, I'm not feeling it as much as I would like to. It's just, I don't really see her in a forest. And so I was kind of just looking through my brushes and stuff on Procreate, and I don't know if it's under the texture brushes or something, but it's like this wood texture, right? It looks like, you know, just plank, just wood. And so I just ended up doing that, which you'll see here in the finished product, you guys. Like, I don't know what kind of magic this crystal holds, but you guys better watch out, you know. But there's like this look of worry in her face, and I feel like with the whole effects, the shadows, the glows, all that jazz, it makes you ask questions about this character, like what's going on? What is that crystal she's holding? Like maybe some bad guys are after her and they want the crystal. I don't know, right? You can go anywhere with this. So yeah, this is the finished drawing, my redraw of my 2017 drawing that I did. You know, her neck is no longer in pain. She's in a comfortable position. She's not really trying to look to see what the hell is back there, you know. So I think my character is really happy. She's like, Danae, thank you for changing my position because my neck was hurting. So yeah, this is her. This is she. Yes, we love it. Anyways, that's it for today's video. If you guys liked it, you know, and the artwork, give it a thumbs up. If you're new, feel free to subscribe. Don't feel obligated to. It's just a suggestion. And once again, thank you all for listening and thanks for watching. And I shall chat with you soon in the next video. Bye.